I wrote the book because I actually read the science on ethyl mercury in Thimerosal, and there's a very, very broad base of science out there that indicates that thimerosal is a potent neurotoxin that we shouldn't be injecting into children. I am very pro-vaccine. I have 6 children. I had all 6 of my children vaccinated. I believe that vaccines are critical to public health, that vaccines have saved hundreds of millions of lives, and they save millions of lives every year. And they've succeeded in eradicating, or nearly eradicating, many of these epidemic illnesses. You know, Mark Hyman has written 8 New York Times bestsellers. He's been thinking about and worried about public health for many years. The same is true of Martha Herbert. She's one of the leading voices in public health in this country.
So our goal is to make vaccines safer, is to increase vaccination rates, is to increase the public trust in vaccinations. And the best way to do that is for the government to say, look, this may be a toxin, it may not be, but it's not something we want to take a chance with. The precautionary principle dictates that we should be better safe than sorry, and we're removing it because we think it's the right thing to do. That would go a long way to enhancing public trust and increasing vaccination rates.
People don't understand that we're offering constructive, practical solutions to a problem that needs to be solved, namely taking a potent neurotoxin, mercury, out of a vaccine preservative, thimerosal, so that our vaccine program is safer for everyone.
I hope when people read the book, they'll be able to see the distinction between the value of vaccination and the role of mercury in the vaccines. Those are 2 separate issues. The fact that vaccines are good for public health does not mean that mercury used as part of the vaccine for preservative is good for public health.
One of the odd things about the response to the book is that we had a virtual tsunami, a cascade of these vitriolic and poisonous press reviews of the book, and before the book came out. So not a single one, and they were filled with inaccuracies, not a single one of these reporters actually read the science. You know, they went right to the knee-jerk reaction, which was that if Robert Kennedy or Mark Hyman or Dr. Herbert criticize an ingredient of vaccines, they must be part of an anti-vaccine fringe, they must be dangerous, they're obsessive, they're crackpots, and all of these things that are things that we've been called by, you know, and these aren't just kind of, you know, these are mainstream magazines like Time magazine. Never having talked to any of the authors, never having to actually look at the science and understood the science. And that's what we're trying to get people to do. You know, it's not something radical. It's about actually, you know, doing your job as a reporter and reading the facts rather than getting pap-fed by government officials or vaccine regulators with a strong vested interest in the status quo. The specific change that we'd like to see this book trigger is to remove thimerosal from the flu vaccines and from other vaccines in the United States. But just as importantly, and maybe more importantly, to get it out of the pediatric vaccines all across the world, where we're injecting hundreds of millions of children with these vaccines, and we're doing it annually.